Hi and welcome everyone. It's Lavender Sky Panther with you on Sunday, November 5th, 2023 for fun little card reading. There will be 3 groups to choose from. Feel free to select 1, 2, or all 3 if you're just feeling it and we need some extra messages. I also will try to do a bonus message at the end, and I'm going to try to record this quickly before the candles burn out. I had to get up and leave the table for a while, so I'm not sure how much life those flames have in them. So here we go. Group 1, it's a gray shark over here. Group 2 is what looks like a walrus, and group 3 is some type of fish, maybe some kind of angelfish. So go ahead and make your selection, shark, walrus, or fish. Okay, and we're going to just hop right into it. So group 1, hi. You've got this gray shark, and what I'm doing is pulling from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck first. That's this card here. And you've got a beautiful message here, a few of them actually. So first off, if you're tracking numbers, you've got number 40 or 4. Go visit Australian blog site called Joanne Sacred Scribes Angel Numbers if you want to know some positive aspects, meanings, of 40 or 4, or any number that you type in after it when you look her up. And this is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous card. It's called Pachamama, which is also Gaia, Earth Spirit, Mother Nature, Earth Mother, any number of names attributed to Mother Earth. And in this case, I do believe Earth within is a sentient being and a spirit like this, something like this. Beautiful depiction. I'm going to put this card down. I'm just doing this card and a clarifying card for this particular reading. So we have this Pachamama, and I just want to point out too, there's a lot of beautiful, the way the card is illustrated, there's a lot of overlaying imagery. So we see a wing, and this looks like a silhouette of a rabbit with a rabbit's ear, showing abundance. And then we get into, even over here, I think I see like an ear, an eye, and like the shape of the silhouette of a panther or a puma. And there's a lot going on in there. So she is tied not only with the earth, with the trees and, anchored down here, but she's also like a bridge between the earth and sky even, because we're bringing some of the celestial bodies in through the reading. Now, I did pull a clarifying card. This is going to be from the Light Seers Tarot deck, which actually turned out to go really well with this. A nice companion card, clarifying card, because it's showing the 6 of Pentacles. And I love the way that these are dropping down and echoing some of the celestial bodies. And the point is that no matter what, you are getting an overwhelming message of abundance. Even your shark over here, the shark swims on, until it finds something to eat. It can, if there's nothing nearby, it'll just go out further until it finds something. There's not one moment this shark wakes up or just opens its eyes and says, oh, man, there's not going to be any food today, for example. There's always abundance, and it knows it. There's schools of fish. There's many other types of things to eat. If those aren't available, there's always something, because Mother Earth always provides, and provides in abundance. Trees don't just have one piece of fruit falling off. Usually there's, a whole host of them falling from the sky. And here we have the pentacles. To me, that means more than just monetary. It does mean things like there's a multiplicity. There's full things, more than just one planet, more than just one sun out there we're finding, a host of stars. There's not just one, there's always many. So there's never a shortage or lack. That's just a man-made construct done by, controllers of this earth that want people to believe that they're less than or restricted. That's absolutely not the case. So anyway, in this card even, we've got the number, it looks like it could be an 8, or also if we turn it to the side, it's infinity. It's the infinity symbol. If you follow my little sassafras root here, it's the infinity symbol. And it's this perpetual, I don't like the word perpetual actually. So it's just an never-ending cycle of giving and receiving, at least in this card. So, and also where, there are times for us to be the giver and then us to be the receiver, and vice versa, if I can do this right. Other times where we're going to drop the coins so that somebody else can pick them up. And so anyway, there's just a beautiful cycle happening there. And I think it just illustrates there is more than enough. So if you're in a position where you're feeling like, well, that's fine and good, I see that you're saying group 1 is, just wake up and not worry about it. There's always going to be something there for me and abundance. But you know what? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the coins. Well, this goes more than the coins. This is going that we are abundant in and of ourselves when we come here on this planet. That spark of life within us is going to be our very promise that there will always be something, there will always be enough. And if we don't, we have the skills, we have the tools, we have things to do, whether we meditate to bring stuff in, or whether we have the mouth and the voice to go and ask somebody for help, or if we don't speak, we can't speak, we can use our hands to gesture like we're in need, or could use a helping hand, right? We're never alone unless we really want to be. And even then, it's kind of almost near impossible to fully be alone, because there are higher forces that will send us things if we really need it in our hour or moment of need. I think that's all I want to say for now. And I did pull some of the charms that I've had lying around. If you've watched some of my previous recent shows, you'll see I've pulled some charms recently. But anyway, I had to bring them in because it reminded me, the orange, the slices. And I know this isn't a perfect circle, but it reminded me of that. So yes, there's plenty of abundance on the earth. In the Western world, like where I am in the US, they'll say that, oh, if you go to the grocery store, that's where you have to buy your fruits. Well, no, nature always provides, and we can't have the mindset that there's any lack, because there isn't when you look to nature. Even a forest, for example, there are natural wildfires. There are also man-made, artificial, weaponized fires going on these days. I'm just going to refer to the natural wildfires. Even a forest, the whole forest can burn down, and you could say, oh my gosh, it's desolate, there is no more. But no, give it some time, and eventually new life will spring. Beautiful greenery will come right back up. A single tree has so many leaves or needles, never just one. So you have an overwhelming message of abundance. So again, if you don't see it, well, then close your eyes and just feel it. Go out and put your feet on the earth to get in touch with Gaia, or sit there, just sit on the ground and just mentally, telepathically speak with the earth, thank it, for all the abundance it does supply, and get into that, just feel that moment of gratitude. And then you'll start to see things appear, in your 3D world, if you're not seeing it already. Okay, that's all I have for group one. Oh, you know what? That isn't all I have for group one. I am, for this card, it is so beautiful. I want to read it from the book. So hold on, bear with me. I'm going to read it off camera because otherwise the focus goes in and out like crazy. And as it is, I dimmed the lights a little to give the effect of the candles. So it'll go in and out of focus even more if I do that. Hold on, give me a moment. I'm struggling with the book. Give me a second. Okay, group one. Let me try to focus on your card. Okay, Pachamama. And it goes like this. The essence. Pachamama represents the unconditional love. I'm sorry. Let me start over again. Pachamama represents the unconditional love that the earth has for all her children, including the stones, the plants, the animals, and humans. She is the goddess of earth, also known as Gaia, who pervades all creation and our planet. Thanks to Pachamama, our timeless soul can experience life in a biological body. The joy and pain we taste during our brief time on earth are invitations to discover the boundless love of Pachamama. The invitation: you are a child of the earth. Now is the time to eat right, love right, and be joyous, regardless of the circumstances you may find yourself in. Be grateful for your life, your body, and all that nourishes you. Pachamama invites you to relish each breath, embrace your joy and your pain equally, and discover love through both. Let Pachamama know how much you appreciate all her blessings with an act of service such as planting a tree, helping save an endangered species, or protecting the ocean. And I want to say too that, okay, they're giving examples of taking actions, but you can also just sit there, go find a little patch of ground and sit there and just send love to the earth and out to the surroundings on surface earth, and even imagine sending it all the way out into the galaxies. And that's enough too. And just close your eyes and be grateful for the earth itself and all it has to offer. All right, well, that's it for group one. Now we're going to go to group two. Group two, you have this, I believe it's walrus. It's not an elephant seal, so I'm going to say a walrus. We'll go with it. All right, so let's look at your card. We're starting off with the mystical shaman or shaman oracle. And you have number 52 or 7. I invite you to go look at the Australian blog site, Joanne Sacred Scribe's Angel Numbers, for the positive aspects of either 52 or number 7. Also type in whatever number you like that you're interested in to get the positive aspects of those numbers. There's some great meanings there. All right, so now you have Stand Still. I am going to read this directly from the book, but I like how there's a doorway or a portal, and it just to me reminds us that things are open, and all things are possible because the door is wide open. There's actually not even a door, right? It's just an opening. All right, so we have a solitary figure there, which does kind of remind me of this solitary figure here. We even have some of the same warm tones, found in the card. And actually, before I get to the book, let me also put the companion card. I'm just doing like 2 cards today together. This is a little clarifier or giving more insight, and this comes from the Light Seers Tarot. And then you have Ace of Pentacles. Now, it's upside down. It's in reverse. And like a lot of people, I don't like to read the reverse. I'll just give you the upright. However, in this case, it really kind of captured a great feeling here, because not that it's the opposite of Ace of Pentacles. I see it more like, oh no, it's still very much an Ace of Pentacles, but now you're just sheltering it and honoring it in a different way and celebrating it in a respectful, honoring way by covering it, rather than, if it's this way, right? So I don't know, in a way, I actually like it better this way. I don't know, somehow I'm getting it that it's more honored and treasured this way. Now, within the very center, I'm getting that as like the spark of life. That's how I'm going to interpret it. So when we get there, okay? All right, so first let me go ahead and read this from the book. And I like how, just from the color scheme alone, everything just harmonizes so beautifully here. So give me 1 second to read, what do we say you were, 52 or 7? Let me go to the book and just read this, and then we'll continue on tying in your little figurine and everything if we can do it. Okay, and give me a moment. I'm going to read this off camera. I'll just try to hold this as steady as I can, so bear with me if it shakes a little bit, hopefully not too much. Okay, the standstill is the essence. When standstill appears, it is a symbol of pausing, the act of observation and breathing space. It represents the benefits of temporary non-action, as well as what happens when one is what? Stuck. Sorry. I dimmed the lights to kind of like capture the mood here, and so I'm having a little problem focusing myself on this in the book with the dim light. All right, so let's keep going. So the invitation on this for the standstill is when things seem to stall or stagnate, or when you feel stuck, this symbol appears as a reminder that constant action isn't going to get you where you want to go. Perhaps it's time to gather more information, or just wait until the universe makes the next move. No matter what, this moment is a beautiful gift, orchestrated in your favor. Enjoy it. Let the universe bring all the parts together for the highest good. Go and play, recharge, and take the focus off whatever has stalled. Life will get busy again for you sooner than you think. Okay, that's real important. This is a very important card, especially if you feel like things are at a standstill or stuck right now. A surface value, that does not feel good. I think, it's a time where we start to get impatient, start to maybe lose hope. Is anything ever going to get better or move again if you are in that stuck position? I like to think of it this way. It's not that you're just like waiting around or in a state of waiting. I like to look at it as we're in a state of growing, okay? When things are to standstill, it gives us time, and now I will flip this card around. It gives time for things to take root. I'm sure you've heard about this little analogy, like how can anything grow if you're constantly digging in the dirt to see if the seeds are sprouting, right? You're just going to disrupt what's going on. There is time, things need time to germinate sometimes. Things need time to grow and take root before you start disturbing or fiddling with it. So, I've had to learn this just recently too. I was like, my God, is anything ever going to move again? I feel so stagnant. This is just really beyond, excruciating, just sitting here waiting. Or, it didn't feel really like growing. It just felt like waiting. It just felt like obstacles were thrown at me. Nothing would move when I tried to take action. And so, like the companion book says, it's not always about taking action. Yeah, there's a time for action, but there's absolutely a time to just sit still, so to speak. And a lot can be learned that way, not just lessons of patience, but also you're giving time to let the universe orchestrate whatever it needs to do, right? In those moments. And a lot of lessons are learned in the seeming stagnancy, right? Now let's see. I brought some wooden coins that I had stamped the star on, And I'm bringing these into the picture just because they reminded me of this. It reminded me of like a wooden disc. And within it, I said that this reminds me of the spark of life, like within us, like we see glow, it looks like it could be coming from the sun or sunset, but I think that could even be the spark of life just shining out, out to the universe. In this case, I had stamped this and something just said, yeah, pull it up because it does somehow relate. I stamped it with a star, and when I did it, to me, it was like a Make-A-Wish token. I made these up myself, and at one point I was handing them out randomly as random acts of kindness, and I would tell the people to go ahead and write their wish on the back, or just hold on to it in their pocket for luck, just reminding them that, that there's possibilities, to make a wish on that star, and see what can come into their life. And so maybe I was guided to kind of pull these out too, as far as maybe the standstill is a time to redirect some of your hobbies, or create some hobbies that you wouldn't be able to do if you were like go on the hamster wheel at a certain job, for example. Maybe if you just got recently let go, quote unquote, or you yourself quit, just knowing it's not fulfilling and there's something better, and you took a leap of faith. Maybe until you get into your next thing, you just start to think of other things that bring yourself joy, and that you can also share it with others, like just doing random acts of kindness and handing this thing out and reminding people that there is hope, and wish on that star. You got to make the wish first, right? So as you're sitting there, get connected with the higher realms and be real honest. And what is your heart's wish? Is your heart's wish to keep working in something you just left, for example? Or is your heart's wish to have a nice pause, have a vacation? Don't put a time limit on it. Maybe just say, hey, I just want time to rest and be fulfilled and do my hobbies, and not worry about anything else. If that's your true heart's wish, make it, make it out to the universe, and they can bring you something that can manifest that in your actual world, right? But be real honest with yourself. If you don't want to be working 9 to 5 and you're saying, oh, I want a job to get the pentacles, but that's not really what you want to do, then don't make that the wish. Go back to, what is your wish? Oh, I want to be able to stay put and still have income flow somehow. Well, make that your wish, right? And then that it can come to pass. Anyway, I'm going to move on. How does this all relate to our, we'll call it a walrus, although I don't see the tusks. This is actually a nice personification of standing still. So look at just the way that the physiology or the physicality of this animal is. It's not designed to go running long distance like a cheetah on the ground, right? It can swim and be more agile in the water, but in this case, we're catching it in kind of a moment of repose, kind of a standstill here, on the ground. So it's not meant to be charging ahead. It's got all this blubber to deal with, and these flippers. It's really not designed for that. Yet it can get by, but it's kind of forced just to be still and be at a standstill, right? And so we're catching it in a moment where we're just in a moment, this human, and in this example, this, and now, by association, you, is just calling to, either calling you to get to a point of standstill, maybe, put the brakes on stuff, not be go, 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 put some little moments more like of pausing in your life, or beyond your conscious will, this is just kind of landed and you're kind of be forced to be standing still or feeling stuck. All right. But just remember, you're not waiting, even though you're feeling forced to maybe be grounded, not moving and getting to do what you want to do. You're just in a moment of growing. Okay. Not waiting, but growing. All right. All right. That's it for group 2. We're going to move on to group 3. Hi, group 3. You have this fish. And then, like I told the other piles, we're going to start with the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And I'm probably going to read from the book, I think. And I have one other clarifying card from the Light Seers Tarot. So let's see what you've got. Okay, so you have card 1. It's a beautiful card, and it is called The Ancient Ones. Let me move this out of the way. Give me a moment. Okay, yeah, The Ancient Ones. Okay. And then the little clarifying card or companion card to this is called, you see this coming down? It's called the Hierophant. Okay. So let's first read the book on Ancient Ones, and we'll go from there. And I also have a clear quartz crystal here. Or actually, you know what? That might be Girasol. I gotta check at that. It's a little dim. I think it's girasol because it's a little cloudy, which is like the representation of a sunflower. And girasol literally is like girasol, means to turn to the sun, and that's what a sunflower does. So actually, any sunflower symbolism coming up, or any crystal clear or cloudy quartz kind of things pop up in your life, that's the energies that we're working with right now. Okay. Before I read the book, just real quick, I can't help but mention this. If you look in the background, you see the stripes of that fish. One little message right away is like, you have earned your stripes. You know, the card here is the Ancient Ones. So maybe you've acquired a lot of wisdom, like this Hierophant too, to say that you kind of have earned your stripes. You've done the work, so to speak. Just reminds me when we turn this card sideways, it reminds me of those echoing, the stripes there. So here, let's get into the book before I forget. And we're going to read about the Ancient Ones. I'm going to read it off camera though, because otherwise the focus on my camera goes in and out, kind of funny. So give me a moment. I'll try to hold the camera steady over here as I read. All right, so the Ancient Ones, let me pull back a little. There we go. Okay, the essence. The Ancient Ones are the shamans or shamans of old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of time. The Ancient Ones once walked the earth like us in flesh and bone. Now they reside in infinity and can counsel us after we say yes to our calling. They are available to help us attain our full realization. The invitation. The Ancient Ones are inviting you to reach to the future to help birth a new destiny for the earth. Go ahead, find out who you are becoming 10,000 years from now. If you accept the invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. Do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew, because you have unlimited spiritual resources available right now. Okay, that's a nice message. I'm going to leave it right there. So anyway, the two cards do relate not only in the color scheme, which is really beautiful together. This, I don't know if you can tell because the light's dim, but this is a bright, magenta fuchsia. But anyway, we have the Ancient Ones and we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is kind of like a keeper of the sacred knowledge, somebody who's earned the stripes, has really studied, or can just tap into the ancient wisdom that we all possess. Anyway, so in that case, they kind of relate. And we have kind of like this kind of looks like a crystalline drop, kind of like a reminiscent of like a crystal ball, right? To see into the future or see into the past, see into one's own, self inside. And, I can't, look the other way. We got this spark, which kind of like one of the other piles, they all actually kind of have a something at the center, kind of like the epicenter of something of creation, and over here too. So that's what this reminds me of. I know we don't have an outer disc, but this just reminds me of the not only illuminating, like the aha moment, the light bulb moment, but also just the spark of life itself for the whole universe, that is within each of us. We have focus on the kind of the heart space here too. I'm not getting too much more off of this one though. I think I might have to leave this reading here. It's probably gonna be one of the shorter ones. I'll just kind of pan out here, see if anything else stirs in you of the meanings. And but I'm really thinking that's about it. I mean, it's kind of like this is the Ancient Ones that we would kind of imagine some ancestors of the past, and kind of in ornate ornamental costume and garb, right? And here we have like the more modern version, the guy in the t-shirt, but we've got like the same coloring going on. So it's just re-emphasizing that we really don't have time. Time is a human or man-made construct. And so, whether it's, in this form or that form, we are, formless. We are the spark, and we do carry infinite and ancient wisdoms, whether it's modern times or quote unquote back then, whenever that is, right? This might be also an invitation, if you haven't done it before, to try out a past life regression, to tap into some of the wisdoms and, see what might have been going on in your past. Or you can simply get a stone that is a crystal that's known to be able to tap into the ancestors. And I've mentioned it before. One that I like to use for me personally, but you can find what works for you, is the Presley Bluestone. For me personally, that allows me to tap into the ancestors, and I have it by my nightstand. And when I want to work with it, and I just consciously, as I fall asleep, just say, okay, if there are any messages, here I am, and there you are. and let's bring that energy through, and allow me to remember it when I wake up, whatever happens in my dream with it, right? All right, so I think that's it for now. I'm going to pick one card just in general for everybody to close out this reading, and it's just going to be a little bonus card, and this one's going to come from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck, and I'm just going to like spread these out messily so, and let's see what we pick and what we get. I'll go with this one, and oh, interesting. It was just what we were just talking about with group 3, and it is called Standing Stones. And I was just mentioning the Presley Bluestone, and that's what is used in Stonehenge. So how funny is this working out to flow nicely, this whole reading? Actually, based on this card alone, you might want to just, make sure you see group 1, 2, and 3. All right, this is the number 40, and actually we had that for the first group too. So, if you didn't pick group 1, you might want to pick it as well. And that's also number 4. Oops, hang on. Okay, so Standing Stones, passage. Well, the only thing that comes to me, aside from looking at this beautiful kind of ancient, it's kind of where ancient stones meet maybe a more modern figure, kind of like in group 3. But it also, with the galaxies shown beyond, it just all reminds you of the timelessness of this scene, and the timelessness of who we are and of the past. And, these standing stones usually are put about in a circle, which again is a reminder that there is no linear time. It's a big circle. You can hop in anywhere on that circle and be present in the now of that time. So passage, what does that mean to you? You break it down into a couple of words: pass, age. And I think we're kind of past looking at age as we move on into ascension, again, where time really loses its meaning because it was never meant to be established in the way that it has been in the 3D earth in the first place. So anyway, we've got standing stones. We had group 2 had stand still. In this case, I just see that it's maybe a little message to stand anchored, but always looking to the infinite beyond, and remembering the power of both, anchoring into our 3D body, but also knowing that we are far greater. And that passage, it said that, in some lore, and probably is a real magic to this, that, you touch a stone and at certain conditions, certain words said, certain mantras or certain mindset telepathically is there, that, maybe there is something linked with stones and creating portals, to other dimensions. In ancient cultures, even Celtic cultures, Old England, there are pictographs of spirals also out in the western desert of the U.S. And supposedly that spiral, means, either a portal or going to other dimensions. There's probably a lot more that we don't quite know about yet. Anyway, that might be something you might want to research a little more into on your own if you're not familiar with it already. All right, that's all I get for now. So, as always, I wish all of you tremendous peace and love. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.